What is good, y'all? It is Mystic Dreamcatcher, and today we have a total drama villains only tier list, aka an entire season my way. So what we got going on for us is all the seasons throughout. I took some of the villains I believe to be the best and deserving of another chance, and I'm going to try and formulate my opinion on who I believe would win and how they would get eliminated. If you guys like this, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Keep in mind, everything is only my opinion. Go ahead and comment down one person from each team you believe may win. We got the Prideful Lions, the Scorching Bears, and the Devious Dolphins. The first challenge I am saying is going to be called Eliminate Me Not. Basically, everyone has this device around their neck, and if they are touched by an opposing team member, they are eliminated from the challenge. The first team to have all their players eliminated will go to the campfire ceremony, but there's a twist. Only Devious Dolphins can get out the Bears, only the Bears can get out the Lions, and only the Lions can get out the Dolphins. They all start on a different side of the island. If they go to the right of the screen, that means I believe they are eliminated. So if I'm being honest with you, the first three from each team eliminated: Courtney, because she was having an argument with Duncan, because he was having an argument with Courtney, and Ripper, because all he does is fart. Followed by Scarlet and Max, both being found because Max is annoying and loud, annoying Scarlet, and they get found because of that. Probably by Izzy or Joe. Eva and Lightning lift up this huge log and go somewhere, that way no one else unless strong enough would be able to reach them, in which eventually Julia and JackBox get found out. I'ma say these three never get found, granting their team immunity. Scary Girl does something loud, she gets found. And I feel like between these two teams, the Scorching Bears would most likely have it, unfortunately sending Prideful Lions to elimination, in which Scarlet publicly outs Max as being annoying and loud and the only reason she lost when she herself could have probably won it. And she goes to Scary Girl because Scary Girl probably likes Scarlet anyway. And they form kind of a trio with Scott, temporary one with Courtney. That's all they need. Max, goodbye. Now the next one is called Sorry, based off the board game Sorry, and basically if you knock an opponent back, it is with a very comically big punching glove that bats them right to the start. First player to reach home wins immunity for their team, and I feel like that is Scarlet winning immunity for the Prideful Lions, and MK winning it for the Bears, meaning I don't even have to say this. I'm sorry, Ripper, you were the biggest L of your season. I thought you were going to be so much better than what you were. I thought you were going to be like a Noah 2.0, but you weren't. Now the next one is going to be a play on the very first challenge ever. They have to go up the cliff and then dive off of it into the waters below, but this time extending off the cliff is rings. Rings you can jump and dive through. The bigger the ring, the less points, the smaller the more points earned. Scorching Bears will choose one person not to play, and they end up choosing MK, because she doesn't want to do this, and since she won it for her team last time, she feels like she doesn't have to. Each player gets to go twice on their team. Whichever team has the least amount of points accumulated by the end will lose. And unfortunately, I am going to say it is Prideful Lions again, in which Scott, Scary Girl, and Scarlet agree that some of the Islanders need to go, and they believe if they got rid of Courtney, this may interfere with Duncan's emotion and make it lose it for his team. Yes, I'm aware that Scott is a fan of Courtney. However, if he tried to blindside these two, I feel like Justin would definitely be like, hey, give me this spot. But that does not happen. In which the next challenge I'm not going to go ahead and explain just because I want their plot to be correct. Duncan does indeed have an attitude and is angry all over the place, but his big situation was arguing with Alejandro. They're probably bantering back and forth, in which MK, she respects Alejandro's game, but she is very afraid of it. Joe knows what Alejandro is like, so she doesn't mind voting him. Izzy and Heather have worked before together in the past, so I feel like Heather may just go ahead and tell Izzy to blindside Alejandro, and that does indeed work. Which means congratulations, everyone moving on up, and we have a surprise situation. Basically, the teams are becoming two, and the swap is Scott over here, Scary Girl over here, Scarlet here, and Justin Bam. The next challenge is going to be a little cartoony, but I feel like it fits the total drama theme. It's going to be called Cake It or Fake It. Alright, so the base is real simple. Each team member will have to guess which item is the cake. It'll show multiple of the same item, but one of them is secretly a cake. But the twist is, If they are wrong, they have to eat whatever they chose. If they do not eat it or cannot eat it, they are eliminated. So they hope they choose the cake. So when it comes to the final 3 remaining on each team, I believe it is going to be Scary Girl, Izzy, and Joe. Followed by Scott, he eats dirt, Eva, and Lightning. In which, I'm sorry, but I don't see any way these 3 somehow out-eat and outgrow Scary Girl or Izzy. Heather and Julia, I know that they like to make characters who seem like they would be friends enemies, but I legitimately think these 2 would be hella friends. Scarlet, recognizing this, she doesn't go to them right away, but she does indeed go to Eva, in which she is like, hey, I'm the brains, you can be my brawn, how do you feel about making a temporary alliance with Julia and Heather to take this to the final 4? And Eva, she sternly says, we aren't friends, but I will do that, and Scarlet says, of course. That's when Duncan finds out about what Scott did, and so he personally goes to Heather, asks for a little favor, and it ends up working. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Scott. 14th place. The next challenge is going to be called I Fish You the Best. Each player is given a fishing pole in which they have to fish out of a very murky, sketchy looking lagoon with magnets in which they can pick up keys. Now there's like 100 something boxes and only one of them has the team immunity in it. The other ones have a bad surprise concocted by Chris McClane himself. Justin decides to sit out as he believes this is not a good hobby for someone like him. In which I feel like the person fishing out the key to win for their entire team, I just want to say is Jacques. Honestly, he feels like the kind that would be good at this, a little bit lucky, and he needs some gloating rights. Cause Jacques is a character that should gloat and have reasons to gloat. Now this is when I think that Bowie will go up to Scary Girl and MK offering a little alliance to take out the Islanders, and that they all need to try and convince Joe to go on their side. These 2 are off to convince Joe, but Bowie secretly has other plans. He goes to Justin, who he finds very attractive, and Izzy, cause he knows that Izzy works with like blindsiders. So he tells them MK, Scary Girls, and Joe's plan, and then he says that Joe is the one that started it all, even though she was just added into it, and believing this, they eliminate Joe. Alright, so you know how reality shows are sometimes sponsored? Well, this one is going to be sponsored by Just Dance, yes sir. So basically, for Just Dance, they have to do the dance moves, all the yada yada, get the perfects. Now, as you know, there is a total of 5 stars you can get in Just Dance. Well, for each star you don't get, that is going to remove a tile of your platform that they are standing on. The dancing is non-stop, by the way. They have like the ultimate sweat playlist on. I'm talking all the hits. If you fall off, you are eliminated. The first team to have all of their members be eliminated will go to Campfire Ceremony. And you guys have to understand, look at these teams. Scary Girl's failing, MK failing, Duncan failing, Izzy might fail. Justin maybe knows a little bit of dancing. The only one carrying on this team is Deadass Bowie. Now on this team, Heather knows how to bust a move, ballerina. Julia definitely knows how to bust a move. Jacques is literal ice dancer. Lightning might take his masculinity too serious and like jump off. But Eva for sure busting a move if it means winning, and I think Scarlet probably has it. She'll probably figure out a way like, well actually if I remove the remote in this certain angle back and forth to a degree and the velocity between the miles per hour of the wind and the diagonal of the sun, I should be able to just move my hand and always get perfect without doing anything else. In which other people would try to copy her on this team but end up failing. Scorching Bears loses. Now obviously by this point MK and Scary Girl kind of realize Bowie betrayed them, but they are also aware that he did not fully betray them. Instead of throwing them under the bus, he threw Joe. So what they do is they go to Duncan and Izzy and tell them all this stuff Bowie said about them, and then they go to Bowie directly himself and say, hey, yeah, we did what we did. We told Duncan, we told Izzy, what you gonna do about it? Except either join us back or leave. Basically do another blindside. And he's basically saying anyone but Justin. They're like, oh, we're not even interested in Justin. We're getting Izzy out of here because we know she's one of the main reasons Joe is gone anyway. She's loyal to no one. She gotta go. Now, the last one is called Chain of Safety. You probably are familiar with this. And basically, Chris comes out there and says, hey, due to like writing issues and time crunches, Devious Dolphins, you quickly just have to vote someone out. And they're like, this is BS, but they also know Chris does BS things. So even though they don't agree, they do it anyway. And I feel like they would vote off Lightning. However, this is a twist plotted by Chris. And Lightning is actually the first person welcome into the merge. These teams are no longer formed. However, he may choose whoever he wants to join him in the merge. Whoever he chooses in an hour can choose someone else. And then that person in an hour can choose someone else. Basically a whole bunch of character development, feelings, dialogue, why he should stay bull. In which he chooses his number one ally, Eva. The biggest talkers in Eva's ear is probably Duncan, Heather, Scarlett, and MK, maybe even Bowie. But she knows about Bowie's backstabbing Joe. Joe was her number one, so she's not even messing with any of the new characters to begin with, because she's mad at them. And you know Eva holds a grudge. Facts. Which also means she's not choosing Heather, which also means she's not choosing Duncan. And I'm inclined to say she's also not choosing Justin just for the fact Justin wasn't on her team. In which realistically it's between Scarlett and JackBox, and even though she's more inclined towards JackBox, Lightning is like, hey, that smart orange hair girl helped me out earlier. You should help her out. We could be a final three. And she's like, bet. Scarlett, you are safe. In which she chooses Scary Girl. This surprises both of them, but they do not know that these two are working together very closely. Scary Girl, of course, chooses MK, because yes, she's devious, and yes, I believe she would backstab. I just don't see any reason why she would backstab like this. MK has seen Bowie's professionals once again, and she knows that he is not fully up to the alliance. So to everyone's surprise, she chooses JackBox. JackBox, also very surprised by this, was kind of thinking he was the one going home. So now he has to make a different decision, and he decides to choose Duncan. Because he knows that Duncan is unlikable, and this is the merge. He knows that Duncan is angry because his girl got voted out third. And he knows that he's just a threat overall. So if there's any kind of protection of blanket that he could have, he wants it. Now, as you know, Duncan and Heather have both been working side by side closely this entire time. So I'm just going to say he chooses Heather to be safe. In which she, of course, chooses Julia. And she goes into the confessional and she whispers, me. I'm sorry, Bowie, but this is where you get out. Karma comes full circle, don't it? Alright, so here is another twist the contestants are told. It is going to be rewind. All of the challenges they did before will now be applied to them, but for single immunity. So the first one is do not get found. All of them are started on different sides of the island, but the twist is each person is assigned one person that they can touch. If they touch them and they are out, whoever they were assigned to touch now becomes their person too. If they are down here, they are eliminated, so on, so forth, until we have a winner. Scary Girl, just kind of very obnoxious. I feel like she's getting out very early. Justin probably wouldn't try super duper hard, but here is what I am going to say of a little bit of twist. Scarlett knows she has MK, but while creeping up on MK to eliminate her, she realizes that MK has Scarlett, and so she backs up and she's like, MK. And MK looks at her like, huh, this girl doesn't know that she's my target. But then Scarlett shows MK that she is indeed also her target. And so she says, look, if we just stay here and look at each other, we know that we are safe, and all we have to do is wait until the other contestants eliminate each other. That way we can shake hands and eliminate each other at the same time and see how that works. And so that is exactly what happens. They do indeed become the final two of this challenge, And they even both go through with shaking hands like normal because everyone is kind of watching. And Chris says, you know what? You both win individual immunity. MK, Scary Girl, and Scarlet working an alliance of 3. Eva, Lightning, Jacques, followed by Duncan as well, all form a 4 alliance. These 3 are thinking of targeting either Heather or Julia. These 4 are thinking of targeting Julia, period. Now, this is where I feel Scarlet overhears their plan to take out Julia. So she leaves a note for Julia telling her this, in which she knows it's 4 votes her, 3 votes Heather, so her only option, just like Scarlet wanted to happen, was to go to Justin, in which they both flipped their votes on Heather, eliminating her. Now, I know y'all might be mad that Heather's gone, but this is just her gone point. R.I.P. the homie. Now, the next one is the game of Sorry. Now, yes, you can use strategy for this game, and that's kind of how Scarlet and MK won, but you got to admit there's also just blind dumb luck. Lightning winning immunity, hella gloating, but he is also hella safe, so he can do that. In which he kind of confronts in his alliance like, hey, Scary Girl creeps me out, she's evil, she's a threat, let's get her out of here. So hearing this, Eva goes to Duncan along with Justin, in which they both agree to also vote Scary Girl, because I feel like neither of them would be aligned with her in any way, shape, or form. In which Lightning and Eva tell Scarlet this as well, meaning 9th place is Scary Girl. Now we are down to the final 8 competitors. The next one is the fishing one. First person to get a key, opening up a box with a marshmallow inside of it, grants them immediate immunity. And I won't lie to you, this is some plot armor luck stuff that I feel like Julia could definitely win. Now, Julia winning, Scarlet finds this to be the perfect time to be like, hey, there's only one person besides you that would know about the note, and that's the writer, that's me, I warned you. So I was wondering if we could repay that favor back. And Julia's like, bet, who do you have in mind? And she obviously doesn't say that she's friends with Lightning or Eva, but she definitely does not bring them up for elimination either. MK is the only person she can kind of relate to on this island due to her having the biggest brain, and she just feels like Justin is not a threat at all. So it's between Duncan and Jacques, and this is foreshadowing from earlier. She decides Duncan, being a winner and a little bit less cocky, should be the one to go. She gets her posse on that. That's 4 people plus MK or Justin or anyone easily. Duncan, I'm sorry, that's 8th place, my boy. Now this is another exclamation mark. This is going to be a double elimination. Now this one will kind of be like getting points by going through hoops like the earlier challenge, but instead of going off a cliff, you're jumping off the cliff, paragliding through hoops that are in the air by drone, in which I have to give plot armor to my boys Jacques and Justin, both winning individual immunity, sending everyone into a frenzy like, oh, who do we vote now? And I think it's pretty clear to everyone that this is a alliance right here plus Scarlet. And they're like, that's great and all, but how are we gonna get the numbers? So after these 2 win, MK goes to them and says, hey, there is a 3-person alliance going on right now. We need to take them out and I need your votes. And so after explaining to them, they agree. And then she goes to Julia and she's like, hey, I know you are working with Scarlet. I've seen your confessionals. So unless you want to be one of the 2 people eliminated, I am offering safety for both you and Scarlet as long as you guys vote Lightning or Eva. And so Julia tells Scarlet this, and Scarlet's like, alright, fine. But she realizes she can also take this to her advantage. So she tells Julia, these 3 are voting Lightning, so how about instead me, you, Eva, and Lightning vote Justin? And they're like, alright, bet, but Scarlet knows this is a double elimination. So while 3 votes are on her, 3 votes are on him, what she does instead is vote for herself, meaning that there is no need for another revote to see who's the second person eliminated. Chris just saves screen time and kicks both of them out. I'm so sorry, MK, you're one of my favorites. I'll even put you over here. Now this is where we have the final 5, in which each contestant is strapped to a circle upside down while they will spin slowly getting faster while certain liquids and stuff get splattered on them. So each contestant in this final 5 challenge has to give up their lovable items in exchange for immunity. Every 30 minutes, they will have to grab one of their personal items and throw it into a fire. If they do not, they do not win immunity. Julia and Justin most likely lose this. JackBox going in the middle, in which I feel like the last person to be immune is Scarlet, because Eva's not throwing her MP3 player into the damn fire. She's been adding songs to that MP3 collection since 2007. Scarlet obviously aligns with Eva and Julia, in which I feel like they just simply target Justin. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of a lazy, and I don't know what the final 4 challenge would be, but JackBox is definitely winning that, for sure. In which him and Julia vote Scarlet and Eva vote Julia, in which it is a tiebreaker between the two. So basically it's brains versus mad luck, and in the total drama universe, 9 times out of 10 the luck wins, aka the plot armor beholds. In which, congratulations to our final 3. I don't know if this is what you expected, but this is the outcome. Final 3 challenge could be like, build your own crop duster, fly to the other side of the island without dying, build your own submarine, go to the other side, and then, nostalgia, build your own bike. First person to get through the finish line may choose whoever they want to eliminate. And I can't even lie to y'all, Eva looks like she would be a beast at this. And Eva kind of dawns on her like, holy crap, I'm in the final 2. How'd this happen? And looking at her competition, she has more character development with Julia than JackBox, in which I hope I did these 2 characters service. I hope I gave them character development, and I hope I made them a little bit better in y'all's eyes. But either way, no matter how you want it, they are both winners, but in my opinion, the canon winner is most likely going to be Eva. Just keep in mind, everything is only my opinion. If you guys like this, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. You guys are so amazing for watching. I dare you to have a good day.